Hello, everyone, and good evening once again. Welcome to your Sunday tonic. It's conversation with the Love Crusader, and we are here with this wonderful topic that we started about 3 weeks ago. And hopefully, this will be the last part for now. We are going to try to bring to conclusion the topic about money and love and money. And I have very, very powerful people with me in the in my studio this evening. I tell you, these are powerhouses that are here, and it takes a lot to get people like this into this studio. You can't take it for granted that we have these powerhouses here this evening. Like I will always say, please share this video, remind our friends. I know we're starting 30 minutes late. Invite your friends. Knowledge is power. Knowledge can save. You will be doing someone a favor. You could be helping someone just by sharing this video. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. You can watch us via YouTube. You can watch us via Facebook Live and via LinkedIn. We are live on all this platform, even right now. So I'm going to allow my guests introduce themselves today, because I want a very, very proper introduction of these people. And if they don't do justice, I will help them in some ways. You understand what I mean? Okay, so ladies first. Sister Tolulope, you want to go first?
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me. Thank you. So, my name is Tolulope Ajiboye. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a mother of four. Two of them are teenagers. And I'm also a banker. I work with one of the largest commercial banks in Nigeria. And what else? What else? Okay, I run a for-purpose ministry for women. The sole purpose of the ministry is to encourage women and to just help women to live in the fullness of life that God has called them to live. It's called Blooming Amazons. Yes. So Blam, that's it. I'm also an event planner. Yes. So I'm a woman of many parts. I'm also an event planner. I'm the creative
Banker.
director of the 2705 Events Company. So yes,
Wow.
that is it.
Wow. 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 When I said that we are having powerhouses, can you imagine that? Please, I'm going to ask you one personal question, but no, now. Wait. Let Uncle Charles introduce
Okay.
himself. Then I'll come back to asking you one very, very important question. It might not be related to love and money, but it could be related because you're a banker. All right, Uncle Charles, talk to us.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Comfort. Oh, sorry, I called up to say that Auntie Comfort. We go way back. So my name is Charles Ogbonnamwevo. I Up until late last year, I used to be a claims and compensation analyst for the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, the leading or the only social insurance uh, body in Nigeria, and I am currently uh, studying for at the University of Salford for a master's degree in data science. I'm a follower of Christ, and yeah, I think that's just it. That's it.
And he's single. And he's single, but I don't know whether he's searching. We are going to confirm that today because I need to
We
advertise.
you just had to go there.
You know that I'll go there. You know that I'll go there. No, Kuchas, how can I not go there? This Ashwebi and Jollof rice have taken a while now. But anyways, it's part of the conversation today. We are going to ask Uncle Charles why he is still single. I can't even believe all the things that Tolu is doing. She's a mother, she's a banker, event planner, women leader. Oh my goodness, how do you do that? Before I go into the topic, please just tell me how, because me, I always feel like my life is the most busy, but I'm hearing these things you're doing and I'm wondering, please help your sister. How are you doing that?
Okay, for me, I think you always have a grace for your race. That's what I always tell people. If God has called you
Hmm,
to do something, He has equipped you. I'm not doing all these
I need
things
to
that
write
I
that
do
down.
because
Yes, write it
um,
down. That's a strong one. A grace for your race. Even I heard that. I heard it. I heard it somewhere. Tell me. Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm not doing, it's when we send ourselves on errands that we life becomes complex. You might be doing something, you know, not everything good is God. Not everything good is God. Let me explain that. That means that you will not, because your friend is an event planner and is a banker and is a this and is a that, and you want to also be that, because you have not been equipped to be that. But if God has called you into a particular call. And when I talk about call, it doesn't necessarily have to be ministry. It could be being an event planner. It could be being a mother. It will always give you the grace. It will always give you the support. It will always just provide all that you need. It's tough, yeah, but I strongly believe that I just have a grace for my race. He will bring in the best hands when you are trusting God for stuff. He knows your frame, He knows how you are, He knows what you need, how you need it. And it's the issue arises when people, you see this thing, that takes me to the story of the 10 of the talents in the book of Matthew. Somebody was given 10 talents, another giving 5, another giving 1. God knows how we are. He knows our capacity. He will not demand of the person He gave 1 what the same thing He gave. He won't put a demand on that person as much as He will on the person He gave 10. But if the one He has given 1 lives in the fullness of that 1, he has lived well by God's standard. So let us find that which God has called us to, and let us be excellent in it. Let us run with it. Let us live in His fullness. Let us be all, face your race, face your own front. Don't want to be like anybody else. The Bible even says that when we compare ourselves to ourselves, we are unwise. So it will be a very foolish thing just to be looking. It will always equip everyone for their individual race. You might see a grace upon somebody's life, appreciate it, celebrate it, but face your own journey. And that you cannot do the multiple things that another person is doing doesn't mean that you have failed. So yes, back to the question. I took that a bit too far. How did I get there?
We're
Back to
not
the question.
complaining.
Yeah.
I said we are not complaining.
Back to the question. How do I do all the things that I do? I just believe that I've been graced for this, and God has just equipped me and just helped me. So yes.
I get the same question a lot, and that's why I just must ask you, because the first time someone asked me, I said, he even made me like go back and then start thinking, really, am I really doing too much? Because someone was like, how's your husband copy? I'm like,
Mhm.
well, which
Mhm.
one is your
Mhm.
husband copy again?
Mhm.
Now you are
Mhm.
doing, you are a student, you are working, you are this, you are bringing
Mhm.
up value, and all that and all that. And I'm like, well, just like you're saying, I don't even know how I do it myself.
I
I know some
know.
stuff. Yeah,
People want you to, when I'm asked, I get asked that question a lot of time, and people want you to give a formula that they can probably
Yeah.
replicate in their own life so that they can do many other things. But the truth is, I
exactly.
will be lying, I will be deceiving you if I say it's by any formula. It's simply a grace. I'm not, I'm quite busy, but I'm not stressed. I'm not under pressure. So it's not
Because
about a
I think
formula.
another thing
Yes,
is about doing what you love.
yes, yeah,
Because
yeah,
when you're doing what you love, you do it effortlessly.
yeah,
It's
absolutely,
like this conversation thing. I've been really,
absolutely.
really from Nigeria. I really, really wanted to start it. you know
Mm.
I've, I've had this online platform for sisters for over 12 years now. So I've been engaging with families, counseling sisters and marriage and stuff like that for years. But I always know that I want to be able to talk to people. I want people to be able to talk to me, because there's a whole lot that is embedded in knowledge that people don't know, especially when it comes to relationship and love. They think, oh, I fall in love with you, you fall in love with me. Boy meets girl, life goes on, but most times it's not
Love,
as
love, now your
all
mates.
right. And let's come back to the topic. Let's not make it women gist. Yes, Sister Tolu, we gist our own later.
I
The gist will
know,
continue
I
after this
know.
platform. Let's come back to the topic. We're talking about money and love and money. And I will apologize first to our viewers, because we're supposed to have a spinster here who will come and match Brother Charles. But now we're going to hear a look from the bachelors. My sister bailed on me at the dying minute, but she didn't really bail. She had an exam, a school commitment that made her not be here. So Sister Tolu is going to speak for the unmarried sister and speak for the married, since she's here today. She's a mother and she has teenagers. So I'm sure she has advice for her teenage daughters. You have a teenage daughter.
No, I have
And
two teenage sons.
oh, strong men. Okay. Let's jump into
Mm.
the topic. First of all,
Mm.
we've had two sessions, and from the sessions, the first one, we were told that love is intangible and money is the tangible. Money is what you use to kind of express love. And in the second session, the speakers told us that, well, it's not really about money. Money is not important. It's not that important. It's good, but the basis should not be money. So what is your take? Let's start from there. What do you think about money and love? Uncle Charles, start.
Okay. I'd what I have, my opinion on that is that first, it's important that we define what money is to us as individuals. Personally, I see money as a tool, and I'd like to believe that a lot of people share that view that money is a tool. When money becomes a problem is when we don't see it as a tool. It doesn't become a means again. It is now the end in itself. So yeah, money is a tool, and like the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 10 verse 19, where it says, "Money answered all things." It just means that money is able to create. With money you can create some value. Money in itself is not completely the value, but money is a tool that can help you add value to something. If you look at that verse in context, it started by first of all saying that a party makes a feast, makes people merry, and wine makes the heart glad, but money answered all things. So when I was looking at it, I was thinking, okay, yeah, you need money to have a feast. You need money to get wine that makes the heart happy. So money is a tool that comes into play in marriage. So for me, it's about finding the balance, not leaning on one particular extreme where money is not important or money is the ultimate. It's about finding a middle ground, understanding that money is a tool. Yes, love is something that is characterized by actions. The things that we do prove the love that we have. And in some instances, there are things that we cannot do without money.
Uh-huh.
Even something as simple as buying flowers. Buying flowers is a big deal where we are. So it's something like buying flowers. Nobody will give you the flowers cheap now. You pay for the flowers. And it
Yes.
means a
Yeah.
lot to the person whom you give the flowers to. So in that
Yeah.
particular place, the money has added value to that relationship by serving as a tool. So I
Okay.
believe it's important, whether it's for singles or it's for married, is to first of all see that money is a tool
Okay.
and find the where the line is so that you don't cross over to any particular extreme and just stay there. Yeah.
Okay. So it's about finding the balance. Sister Tolu, what do you say?
Yes, I would just like to take it up from where he stopped. Yeah, because truly money is a tool. It can be a tool and it can also be a weapon. It's like I would like to I typically would like to use this instance of when you are when my gardener is tending my flowers, there's a way he can use the scissors to cut the flowers, which will mean taking care of the flowers and tending them. And there's this also another way that you can use the scissors to destroy and kill those flowers. The
Mm,
same scissors, the same equipment, it can one can give life, the other can bring death. So that is the same thing with money and with marriage. But to now say that money is not important in marriage. Love no be your mate too. I've been married for 14 years now, so I think I can speak I can speak on marriage. There's so much more to marriage than just boy meet girl, like you were saying, and girl meets boy. Love is not going to pay the bills. Love is not going to make your wife happy. Love is not going to pay it's just a whole lot. I'm not going to say that, oh, you should marry based on money. Yeah, but I mean, I mean, I
I
mean,
mean, I mean,
I hope I know that Amin is waiting, and I hope the listeners can just read between the lines and catch. I'll just say Sela, Sela, Sela.
Just and think about it. On this conversation, we don't do seller. Say it as it is. Point it out so that
Oh,
you will not
you
be
want me to say
misunderstood.
it?
But I
You
hear
want me
you.
to?
I hear
Yeah,
you. I hear
yeah.
you.
Ah,
And I think I lean a bit towards you because I you have to go the journey to be able to understand what we're talking about. We were talking about some things one day, and someone said, "Look, love has flown through the window. That hunger chased her love away because she's in this marriage and she's hungry. Even food the man can't provide." Do you get what I'm saying? So I get what you mean when we say money is important. It can be a tool or a weapon. Charles has said to us that it is a tool. It is just like someone said on this platform before, it is the tangible that we can see. Because if you say you love me, you love me, Uncle Charles, you are going to ask a sister out because you are still at the asking stage. Will you be asking a sister out and maybe sister has agreed or has not agreed? You are dating this sister. There's no taking out. There's no buying gifts. There's no okay, in Nigeria they're still doing recharge card. What are we going to use here? Flour. Where we are talking flowers. They're talking chocolates. Nothing like that. Do you think it can work? Do you think a relationship like that can work?
yeah,
Sorry.
muted.
Yeah, sorry. Let me unmute you. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's unmuted now. So obviously, I mean, that's an obvious question. Like I mentioned earlier about buying flowers, but the thing I always I'm trying to emphasize is that before I even go to the point of asking out or taking out, a connection has already been created. Something deep within me had reached out for this person and had just accepted this person without even knowing this person. And that thing has made me curious to now want to know the person. Now, coming back to what I said about money being a tool, there is to get to know that person, I have to spend money. I mean, I've walked that road many times. I mean, going to the place where you even ask the person out, you will spend money. You will not walk there now. It's money. And it might be insignificant change, but it is still money. Creating the right environment for you to ask the person out, you will spend money. Sometimes you even have to bring the person to the place you want to ask the person out and send the person back home. Not out of obligation, but it is a sacrifice that first of all being born out of that attraction, that love that you are hoping to build on, and then the money now is what is there to facilitate it. But a lot of the place where I feel a lot of people like me, young people like me, let me not say young, I'm not so young again, single people miss it is that we place too much emphasis on the money. We don't allow that thing that is speaking to us from deep within, that inner man, that conscience that is telling us, oh, this person, give this person a chance. We've already assessed and then ruled out. And it is both ways. If you are committed to something, it will cost you money. I mean, we have to make a sacrifice for it. No commitment is convenient. You will spend, you it will cost you. So the money aspect is really key. But like I'm harping on, the money is a tool. There has to be something that has created that spark before the money is now something that will fan that spark into flame. No matter how much a girl may like me, I mean, if I'm not making sacrifices that obviously involves me spending money, she'll be skeptical. I mean, love will not blind her to the point that she'll look past all of that thing because it's very serious. And for most of the people who I know who are married, who have had all kinds of challenges in their relationships, 90% of it stems from money. Because I know some really horrible men. As in, sometimes I tell myself this person has no, this is like a grown baby that is married and has children. But because they have money, yes, and they are doing a lot of things, their partner will just, they don't have conflicts that blow out of proportion that leads them to people coming to settle them, family coming to, they always find a way to work it out because that tool is keeping is doing its work very, very, very well. But when it blows over and the can spills over, look at it. 90% of the time, money is at the core of it. So money is very, very important. As much as it's very important, we should not make it the primary thing. We should also remember that there is a spark first that that brought the two together before there was a need for
Okay,
money
I
in the
have a
first
follow-up
instance.
question. I have a follow-up question, Charles.
Yeah.
Because you are a guy who
Yeah.
is not married.
Okay.
And
Yes.
last week we were talking about it, and someone was like, it's just because we're in Africa, in Africa, oh, they say the man is the breadwinner. So because of that, people look to a guy to say a guy should make money before the guy talks of marriage. So do you think a guy should make money before the guy talks of marriage? Or a guy can marry a woman who has money, and even if he doesn't have? What do you think?
So yeah, the thing is that we can't get away from our culture. We can't get away from, because that is what has shaped our thinking. That is what has formed our personal convictions to a very high degree. And yes, as a man, but the thing is that making money is very subjective. Some people want to be Aliko Dangote. I told my friend many years ago, I don't want to be Aliko Dangote. I want to have the problems that he has. I'm not cut out for that kind of problem. He said, no, he wants to be driving private jet. I said, if I have money to buy first class, it's the same thing as a private jet. Now I'll go and buy first class and go to where I'm going to. So, but you see, it's different perspectives for people. To him, being Aliko Dangote is
It's his
about
target.
making money. But to me, being able to afford a first class ticket when I want to treat myself to a first class ticket is having money. I feel like a private jet is an unnecessary inconvenience for me. That is just my own personal opinion. So it is subjective to start with. But then again, a man should have some solid foundation before marriage is not for babies now. A friend of mine always says that one of the biggest problems we have in society, especially in Nigeria these days, is because we have babies making babies. We have people
Mm,
who have no business being married,
mm.
getting married, raising children. So you see marriages that don't last 2 months, you see marriages that don't last 2 years. And for some reason, it has become okay to just get a divorce and just walk away. So why did you even start in the first instance? Personally, I believe, because for me, I was not, I did not start telling anybody, um, hey, what's up? I'd
I
like
love
to get
you.
to know you. Yes, yes. Can we talk, have something serious, build a life together and all of that? I did not do that when I was neck deep in debt, because the first job I got wasn't paying very well. And as it wasn't paying very well, I hardly got my salary. In fact, I don't think I ever got my salary on the day I was told on my letter that I'll get my salary. So I always got July salary in August. Sometimes it will even enter September. So it was impossible for me to plan. I couldn't even take care of myself. Would I go and be why would I invite that kind of trouble upon
But
myself?
what if the lady has money? That's what we're saying. So
True.
can her money
Then
cover for both of you?
no, it shouldn't cover for both of you. Anti-comfort, because during that period, I had a very good friend, as in I had strong feelings for her and I knew she liked me too. And she was very well off compared to me. But I could not tell her, okay, let's do this, because I knew that I just couldn't. I didn't want to be that kind of guy who was depending. I mean, I don't know whether that is a function of how I've raised or my personal convictions. I didn't want to be that guy who would feel comfortable with his wife taking care of everything. My wife is meant to support me when I can't go the limits. But my wife is not supposed to be the burden bearer, the one that takes the load. Then me, I'll now support her. I mean, is she marrying me or am I marrying her? It doesn't
That's
work
not
that way. So
easy.
yeah, I personally could not open my mouth to tell her this, that. She's married now with kids. She told me
Oh.
that I never said anything. I said, forget, I never said anything. You came to my house. I was living in that tiny big in zone one in Abuja. If I had asked you then, will you agree?
Mhm.
The conversation ended.
Okay.
So it's
Okay,
the
let's
truth.
come
You
to
say you did not
strategy.
say anything, you did not say anything, but we have to be realistic.
All
I
right.
could barely take care of myself, let alone taking. There's a lot of responsibility, which I knew I couldn't shoulder then. And there
I
was
hear
no point
you.
tying somebody down for or creating problems for myself and for another
Okay.
person.
So the baseline should be at least a man should be able to take care of himself before he starts
Comfortably
talking
take
of
care of yourself. And again, I said it's
comfortably.
subjective.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you know what you're looking for as a man and you know that you're looking for Dangote standard, at least you have to wait and make some millions, even if you have not reached a
If that is
Dangote.
your, yeah, because
Hey,
yeah,
that's your standard. I know what
if
you mean.
that is
I
your
get to
standard,
break
yes,
down
get to your standard before you
your
now bring in
subjectivity.
another person.
Okay.
Don't bring
Sister
somebody's
Tolu,
daughter and come and put her under undue pressure and suffer her unnecessarily. Me, I'm not party to that.
Sister Tolu, I want you to pick up on what he has said about a woman having the money. Is it pride? Is it really a big deal? Can't a woman have the money and then cover up? I've heard of a woman that paid her bride price. She gave the man the money to pay her bride price. Because the man did not have the money the family was asking for. Is it a wrong
Hmm.
foundation? And then to follow up on that, should a lady place comfortability as one of her decision making tool before she agrees for a brother? Should that be what she's looking for?
Okay, thank you. I want to believe this is a Christian platform, so the things I will be saying are things that would be would be scripture based.
It's
You,
okay.
you yes, you understand. It might not sound well, you know, for the average man, but because we are children of God and we know that we are not, we walk by faith and not by sight.
Mhm.
I'm also an event planner, so I once had a bride that the guy, couldn't, this kind of scenario that you just painted and all of that and all of that. But she
Mm.
insisted, she said, even if he's not going to do any other thing, no, you see that bride price one, you see all those things our family has asked for. If he means he will go and borrow, even if it means that she has a plan to help him to offset the loan, later on and all that. But let him even make a move. Let him, leave
I
his
like that
comfort
one.
zone. Let him even, get up and say, this lady is worth it. I want to do anything to have her, and all that. Because marriage, marriage not be your mate too. Because that in that kind of scenario, you could get married and the man will say, after all, that same man that did not have money yesterday he could have money tomorrow. And it's all that, after all, I didn't pay your bride price. You married me.
Mhm.
I didn't want to be in this. So the way that we as Africans show a man shows commitment to a lady is by that bride price. We are Nigerians, and I believe everyone. Okay, some of your viewers may not understand, but I mean, you understand what I mean. A man could wake up tomorrow and tell you that, I did not marry you. You married me. I was not ready. I simply told you I wasn't ready. You were in a hurry. You wanted to do everything. You wouldn't have been my choice. So she stood her ground and all that. But I also want to put a caveat on that, saying that we as Christians, we live by faith and not by sight. That same guy. So it will take me back to where we started about having a relationship with God and being led, you know, because in this thing called relationship, the truth is there's no one cap fits all. It could work for some couple and it might not work for another. Do you understand? You cannot say because this person married and it was the husband, it was the wife that paid all the bride price and paid all the this. Let me follow that one. That is why you must be led. You must be led. This person that you want to be in a relationship with, what is God telling you about this person? Because the truth is, we have seen guys that at the point where they were getting married, they really did not have much. It was their wives that had the money. And in this day and age where we are live when we where we live, many more women are becoming more successful. The proportion of women that are successful is much more. If you meet 30-year-olds, if you meet a boy that is 30-year-old and a girl that is 30-year-old, the 30-year-old girl will most likely be more successful than the 30-year-old guy at that time. It doesn't mean that later on the man can the guy will not take over. But women, the way we are wired and the way God has just helped us, we are early starters. It's easier for a woman to a boy and a girl can graduate together. Most times the girls get job faster, they move on faster, and girls really know what they want at quite early. Men still want to be tactical. Women are ready to, take the risk and all that. So you cannot judge a guy by how you are seeing him today. So it takes me back to the place of Be led, be led, be led. But also, the way we women are wired, we are not wired to be providers. So even in that led marriage, no matter how good that woman is, you will still hear cases of, I cannot be paying your bills. I cannot be paying your bills. So the man too should be ready. The man too should be ready. If both of you have committed that, oh, this is what we want and this is what we do, and God is asking us to do this, and you don't have money, it might be, I don't know, like,
But, but if we want to face it, because sis, you just talked about faith. Can't we just face it and just go
faith
by
it.
faith? Eh?
Faith
Faith it.
without
Faith is a
works is dead.
journey. Oh. No, faith
Eh?
is even a faith, yes, it's a faith without works is there. And faith is also a journey. It's also a journey. It's also a journey. I'm not saying we should not walk by faith, though. We have to walk by faith. But then you have to be very, very sure that it is God leading you. Because even the faith that it is God leading you self, no because even God in the Bible says it now, in this world we will have many troubles. So
True.
the one that is God even leading you, you will see bumps, you will see valley. So you have to be so sure. You cannot just say, I want to hop on it because it's faith, it's faith, it's faith, it's faith, it's faith, it's faith. But at the same time, there's also an extreme to that. We live in a generation where you just see girls going after money, and you're like, really, really, that shouldn't be the basis. But then again, just be led, be sure that the person you are with, because marriage in itself, no matter how ordained that marriage is from heaven, marriage is hard work. Marriage is a lot of work, so you want to be sure what your battles are. You want to be sure, you
Abio.
don't want to go and be picking battles that you're not meant to fight and all of that and all of that. One of the, like he has said, one of the things that can really tear a marriage apart is lack of finances and all that. So you really, really want to show. I've seen situations, I know people where they earn more than their husband and their marriage seem to be thriving and all of that, because the truth is many women are getting very, very successful right now. So if you now say until you find a man, especially for people who did not get married on time, if a woman is getting married at 35, most likely the kind of men, most of the men, the kind of men she'll be attracting, she might be wealthier than them and all of that. There are people who can cope with that. Just be led, Sha, because this relationship thing, there's no one. I don't want to give one cap fits all, because it might work for some other people and it might not work for another person, So yeah.
That's it.
Just a
I
quick
agree with.
comment. I just
Go on. Go on.
to what I mean by faith without works is dead, is dead in the sense that is that even as much as we have faith and we are, I don't even like when people say we are faithing things. That is
There's
for me
nothing
is
like
not,
that actually.
there's nothing, you cannot fit anything. It's like you're turning faith into a magic word. You say abracadabra and something will just appear. We must take steps in the direction of our faith. If you are believing that this is this, there has to be tangible evidence. It's just like our faith. If you cannot see that I'm a Christian from the way I live my life, I have to come and tell you that I'm a Christian. There's something wrong with me. Something is wrong. That my faith is not genuine. If I have to be telling everybody I'm born again, I'm born again, I'm born again, I'm born again, people should look at me and now ask me, are you born again? That's what I mean by faith. So if we are believing that, okay, this man, yes, I'm being led by this, and I'm believing that this man is going to be great, or this woman, this lady is going to, you need to see that she's taking steps in the direction of that faith, that thing you are believing and she's believing, that you are seeing her making moves. You cannot say you want to come and study abroad and you've not even applied for an international passport. You don't have an international passport. It doesn't make any logical sense. Which type of passport to just drop from the sky into your lap? That's just what I mean. So we need to, it's what I tell everybody, be looking at, and it's what I tell myself, it's what I do. Be looking at tangible signs that this lady is taking steps to become the kind of woman you want, to spend the rest of your life with. Not necessarily who she is now, but there has to be evidence that there is a seed there that is growing. And there has to be evidence that the seed in you too that is growing. That's where the faith now comes in. It is not wishful thinking.
I think the faith without works is dead quote should be one of my most favorite quotes. If anybody knows me, it's like a song in my mouth. I'm a firm believer in working out your faith. You sit at home, you pray, you climb the mountain, you do 40 days, you do 40 nights. Brothers and sisters, there are some things God will not do
But you
for
are
you.
lazy.
Eh, there are some things God will not come down and do for you. My sister is an event planner. Somebody will come and tell you, plan an event for me, sister. You have already even given this person discount, say because you're a sister in the Lord, I want to patronize you. Then on that day, maybe her small chops will not be good, or she will come late. Event will not be anyhow. Then when you don't give her another, they say, ah, but you're my Christian sister. No, you have to deliver that thing well. Abi, what am I saying? Even if me and you were speaking in tongues together, when you deliver well, I will proudly tell somebody else, this is my sister. Oh, this is what my sister does. And that one too want to give Abi. They say word of mouth is the best form of advert. That one too want to also call Sister Tolu tomorrow. Say, Sister Tolu, come to my event or do my event. But you go and sit down and you be praying, God, I'm not getting business. I'm not getting business. The only one that God gave you, you messed it up. You did not do it well. I just expect people to call you. This is what, and I'm sorry, it's so much in the Christian faith. A lot of people think you just faith it, you confess it, you believe it, you fast, you pray. And if there's any place where it doesn't work, it's relationship. Relationship is 50-50. Don't spiritualize it. There's no, oh, God says the Lord, you go and meet the sister and tell the sister, the Lord said that you are my bone of my bone. Just because you know she has money. Okay, wait. Bro, Charles said we should see a seed. What if, and this is also a situation that we've seen a lot with spinsters and bachelors, especially when they are maybe at an advanced stage. So this brother has said, oh, I want to travel. I know the Lord wants me to travel, blah, blah, blah. And he actually has a passport, bro Charles. He has a passport. You say, why are you laughing at me? Okay, not only has he a passport, he even has an admission letter from a UK university. All right. Now he doesn't have the money. Is it okay for a sister to say, a sister who brother wants to marry, or a sister who is in relationship with brother, with prospects of getting married tomorrow, I have this money, let me sponsor you, go to UK and study. Then when you finish, we marry. Turn the table the other way, because it also happens with guys. So sometimes you see a guy who's wealthy, he meets this girl, maybe she's not educated, her family is struggling, and then he takes her up, he sends her to school. In fact, I heard of a story not too long ago. It was on our platform, the female platform I was telling you that we have. The lady came back from school and said this guy was no longer her level because he himself was not educated. You know, he was one of these market boys who felt okay, he needed to marry an educated wife and sent this lady to school. And now she's a graduate. She's come back to say she can't marry an illiterate. What do you say to that? Because these were prospects that people invested in.
Is it me or Sister Tolu?
You start, brother Charles.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
Tolu will
I
help us
see.
conclude the matter.
Okay,
Tell us.
so there's this portion in Romans 14, I think verse 5. I like the second part of it. I like it very well. In the context of the passage, it was talking about religious practices and food sacrifice to idols and not. But he said there's a phrase there that really caught me. It says, let every man be fully convinced in his own mind. And for me, that has always been the basis of everything, that every decision I try to make, if I'm fully convinced in my own mind. Because one of the decisions I've regretted, there was always a check in my spirit. Something just felt off about it. But because on the surface of it, it looked good, it was appealing to me, it was something I wanted to do, I went ahead and did it. And then when it all went south, I remembered in that moment when I felt uncomfortable about that decision, and I still went ahead with it. There's no way in those scenarios where it has happened to one of my uncles, and it has happened to another family relation of mine. Two of them took up with younger women, trained them in school, and then the younger women changed their mind. So for me, that's at some point in time they knew within themselves that this was wrong, that this relationship was not founded on the right level. There was no coming together of the hearts. That it was one person having a desire and one person sensing that this person has a desire and this person has a need. So because this person has a desire, I can just take the needs I have from this person. Obviously, he wants me. So whatever he has to offer, let me just take what I have and I move. So those relations, those ones, I would not even call them relationship in the first instance because there was no coming together of the hearts. Because if there was really a coming together of the hearts, I would not send somebody abroad to go and study and then come back and come and marry me. No, no. If we are going to go to the abroad, we'll go to the abroad together. If we are
Bam.
going to stay here, we will stay here together. But whatever that thing is, anything it is, we will do it together. That is what I mean by hearts coming together. I'll give you an instance of a very close friends of mine. They are much younger than me, but we're close. You know, as in our spirits just connected, so it didn't matter the age difference. So the lady was in America. She went to do her master's. She finished. And then she was looking at getting a job there. Now, this guy did not sponsor her, but they were together when they were here. It was her parents that wanted her to go. And they
Mm.
were making their relationship had taken strides. We always sensed that, okay, these two are going to get married. That is just for things to just work out. When she finished, she was torn between staying there and getting a job or
Mm.
coming back because of her now he did not invest any money. And then him on his own part, he did not want to go there and he wasn't demanding that she should come back. Now that those are two hearts coming together. Each person was looking for what was best for this person. As he will tell her that as much as he wants her to come back home, but he cannot promise her that she will get a job here or anything. And then him, he doesn't know if he wants to go abroad there and come and do anything. But that whatever decision that she takes, that he will support her in it. That if it is meant to be, that God will work everything out for them. But that him, he's just building his career here and he can't just uproot it and go. And that he understands her situation too. And she too, she was concerned. In fact, she called me one night and told me that this is where she is. So I just told her that you already know what you want to do. You know the one that is most valuable, the one that you live to regret. Whether it's leaving America that you regret or whether it's losing out on this brother that you regret. You know the one you regret the most. So that's the one you should just do.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't even tell me. Oh, one day I just saw her back in Nigeria. For fast forward a few months later, they were married. And they're happy.
Hallelujah.
Very, very happy, living out their life jejely with their daughter in Abuja. And now together they are planning how they will now, okay, where it is that they will now go if they are leaving Nigeria and start a life together. Now that is two hearts that are together. Each person was looking for what was in the best interest of the other person. It's not me, I want to sponsor you, and you are not even concerned about how much money I'm going to invest. Your own is just with ego, bring the money
We take
and
go, we
just let
take
me
go,
just
we
go.
take go.
You
Bring
know,
money, bring
so those
money.
relationships, just this scenario you gave me, there was no relationship existing there
Mm-hmm.
because each person was just doing him. He wanted to invest in the girl, or if it's a guy, if it was a lady, she wanted to invest in the
He
brother
was
to tie him
selfish.
down, to buy his loyalty. And
Hmm.
then the brother on the other side was seeing this as an opportunity to just take, or the sister to take
To
what she
cash
needs
out.
and moved on. So there was no relationship there. They should not even keep themselves. Everything that
Hmm.
happened is of their own making.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, Sister Tolu, let me hear your opinion before I move on. Move on
Yes, I
from.
would like to just agree with him. That's true. You know, you when people get into the relationship for the wrong reasons, you want a trophy wife because you are not educated, so you want the educated person, you want an educated wife. Why don't you work on yourself? Don't you try to get an education? Do you understand? Because the truth is, somebody that is educated, you guys will, she'll probably, I know people still do those things, oh yeah, but an average girl, by the time she gets that education, you guys are no longer on the same level anymore. Do you understand? So, and like he has said, like Brother Charles has said, it now becomes selfish. It's not about the love or the connection that you guys have. It's about you want to be able to make a point that you don't know my wife, say she gets, and the other person too is like, oh, this is just a way for me to get the education I've always wanted. So it's about two individual people in a so-called relationship pursuing individual goals. You understand? The relationship should be on the basis of the goals should be based on the relationship. What is best for the relationship? But when everybody is seeking their own agenda, then there's a problem. There's a problem. So yeah, I would just like to agree with him. I know all of
Okay.
those things still happen, and some people still make you work, and I still see some people who do that and they are happy in it too. But I don't know.
Like you said, be led. If you're
Be
led to
led,
do it, happy.
be
If
led,
you're
be
led to
led.
do it, to go and invest it,
Just
you know,
like he said that he knows people who that thing didn't work for. I know someone who that was a situation, and she's still married. She's with the man, and they seem to be happy, like everything, So yeah,
In
you
those
know
be
when
led.
situations, it is both of them. Like nobody was looking out for their own personal interests.
Interest,
That's what I always
yes, yeah.
maintain on. Whoever was sending who or whoever was sending, the other one was considering the other person. As in, okay, do you have to do this? We can, I mean, we can find another way. And the other person was like, no, 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 we can do this. So it was two people, no
It was
selfish
based on the
ambition.
love. It was based on the
Yeah,
connection.
no deceit.
Yes, not based on I want to
we are
be
back.
able to. Some people men even do those things for control and for and all of
Yeah,
that.
like I
So,
said, buy somebody's loyalty.
mm,
Buy somebody's, this person will
Add
loyal
add
to you
to
if you
add
do
her
this.
to your list of properties, like
He
the
wants to go
cushion.
through
Then,
school,
accusation.
add him
then when
to
she
let him be
comes to
loyal to
remind
you.
her, if not me, your father did not have a house. I was the one that roofed your father's house. You throw it in her face every day because you manage. If not me, would you even go to school? When I say sit down, you sit down. When I say shut up, you shut up. If I say jump, you ask how high because I made you. So those are the things that follow it. It's not just about, yes, there's no, like we said, we've said in some editions of this program before that love is given. Okay, you really cannot love without giving, and whether it's money, whether it's your time, whether it's yourself, love is sacrifice. You can't keep saying you love someone, you're not ready to make sacrifice for them, you're not ready to be uncomfortable or inconvenience yourself, like Charles was saying, for them. So if you are going to make this sacrifice for me and I'm going to make this sacrifice for you, it should be on the basis of love. That's the only way to work. If the lady wants to do it because she's now desperate, like some of them were, okay, I'm now getting old, so I need a man, then anyone that just come, and then this brother is looking at her as, this is my golden fish where I'm going to be coughing money to achieve my aim. In the long run, he can get to that place where you say you're sponsoring him to, and he disappears. And that happens a lot. In fact, for me, I'm not being sexist, but I will never encourage a sister to do it. Maybe brothers should even risk it.
I
I
agree
won't
with you. I agree with you.
encourage a
I
sister
agree
to do
with
it.
you.
I'm telling
No,
you,
it's
I
as a
what
read
we
I read a story somewhere today, and I found it very both hilarious and very just disheartening. These two people that are married, I don't know if it's fiction or if it's real. These two people that are married, and the guy kept telling her that they should keep saving, keep saving. He wasn't ready to have kids. They should just keep saving. So they had a joint account together. So there was a day after 6 years, she went to the family house and she bought foodstuff for the family members. And the family members just called her back. The sister just called her back to say that I just need to tell you this because I cannot do this. I cannot hold this any longer. For 6 years, my brother has told you not to have babies, but do you know what? He has 3 children with another woman and is planning to travel abroad with the money that you guys have in the joint account. So you just hear these things and you're like, I honestly believe that a woman, the way women were wired, we're not supposed to be providers. When a man starts demanding, if you want to assist your husband, let it be your own choice. But when a man starts putting a demand on you to do this for him and to do that, that's already a red flag for me. I'm not against a woman supporting her husband, but let it be your
Sister Tolu,
decision. It
let
is.
me cut you and bring you some. Let me bring a question there. What if that is happening in a married situation already?
Hmm.
Because we were talking about it last week with the couple that came. We had a couple here last week, and I was asking them, is it proper for a man to call up the wife and say, okay, you are earning money, I'm earning money, so and so is the amount of the bill in this house, so
Let's share it.
you will be taking this bill, I will be taking this bill. Uncle Charles will come to you. We know you are not married, but we'll come to you and you give us your thoughts on this matter now. Because she mentioned, women are not meant to be providers. you should, freely support from your heart. Is it proper for a man to say, sit down, you're earning this, I'm earning this? Maybe because you are open, because some women, some men don't even know what they earn. But you are the open woman, he knows, you know. Oh, so you take this bill, I take this bill. What do you think?
It's not proper, honestly. It's not. Women are not wired to be providers. Yeah, support. A good woman supports her husband. If you see a good woman, naturally, when she sees what her husband is doing, will say, ah, honey, let me help in this way. Let me help in this way. Let me help in this way. But when a man now begins to place a demand on you, let's have the school fees. Let it. I don't know. That is not. That's the God that gave a manual. The problem is always when we try to change the manual. When we try to change the manual of as Christians, our life is drawn, the pathway of our lives is drawn from the scriptures. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It is not appropriate. I know one of my friends that growing up, our mom used to earn way more than her dad and everything. He could afford to take them abroad, and she could afford all the luxury. But then the man would insist that this is what I can afford. NASCO conflicts is what we are having in this house. If they wanted to have Kellogg's, that would mean that they will have to like appeal to their dad to let their mom have Kellogg's, because the man knew what his duties were and he stood up to it. I mean, but we live and it's both ways. It's both ways. We live in a generation where men just think it's okay for the women to be picking the bill, and
Uncle Charles,
it's
okay, she's a woman, so maybe women, let's not disenfranchise the men. What do you think? Tell me,
Yeah.
a man. Even if you're not married, you're a man, and very soon you'll be married. We're
So
advertising you now.
let's
This
just
marriage
remove
has to
sex.
happen, has to
Let's
happen.
just remove sexes or genders for a minute. In Philippians 2 verse 4,
Mm-hmm,
Paul writing to the Philippians, he said, "Do not merely look for your own personal interest, but look
mm-hmm,
for the interest of others, having
mm-hmm,
this same attitude in you, which was in Christ Jesus." So, as Christians, first of all, as a believer and a follower of Christ, going for a sister who is not a believer and a follower of Christ is me playing with fire to start with. It's
mm-hmm,
me wanting to put my hand in fire. So if I get burned, I have no one to blame but myself.
mm-hmm,
Then coming to the issue at hand, like I said earlier on, I will not bring in somebody into a marriage situation when I know I cannot take care of the person. But then again, I've always been drawn to successful women. I like the fact that a woman doesn't need me.
mm-hmm.
But that doesn't make me to sit down. What that actually does for me is that it puts me on my toes. The fact that this woman doesn't need me, it makes me want to go the extra mile to make sure that I am letting her know that if she needs me, I'm right here. If she needs me, I'm capable. If she needs me, I can do it. But I like the comfort. One of my mentors, his wife earns way more money than him. But every Sunday in church, he takes his wife's car. That's just the one I know that he does. He collects his wife's car keys during one of those times in service when they are doing something. The pastor, he'll take his wife's key, go and drive the car, go to filling station, fill up her tank, and come and give her back her key. At least that with that full tank, it will serve her for the whole week. She will not call him that fuel has finished everywhere. But he knows she can buy fuel. That money for fuel is not the problem. During church service, I see him count money and give that he forgot to give his family offering. He'll count offering and give them to go and give his wife. I've seen him do it a number of times if he forgets to do it at home. But I know his wife earns probably 2 or 3 times what he earns. Now, that is the kind of man I want to be. That is the way I feel every man should be. And in that same reciprocity, his wife picks up so many other things before he even notices. That is how a true marriage that is modeled after the relationship between Christ and the church should be, where everyone is looking out for the interest. So there will never be a situation where I'll have to tell my wife, you cannot see that I'm struggling under the weight of this bill. It means I've married another woman. It's not the wife I was supposed to marry that I married. If I have to tell her that, okay, you have to take this bill, far be it from me that it will never even come to that.
He
that you
say,
have to pick up this bill. It
he
shouldn't be
say,
done. And then on the other side too, the women as well should understand that this is a partnership. You have agreed to spend your whole life with this person. And if this person is suffering, what benefit is it to you? If this person is unhappy, what benefit is it to you? If this person is miserable, suffering, looking raggedy and crawling under debt, I mean, what benefit is it to you? So it is about coming back to the earlier thing we're discussing, it's about everybody looking out for the best interest. That's how, if you're not ready for this, don't even get married. But people just want to get married, settle down, have a family.
they want
You
to
know,
dance early.
ask that you settle down,
They-
settle down. I say, do I look unsettled to start with? Do I look unsettled that you need me to settle down? But the thing is that we need to be in that place where things like scenarios like this don't even crop up. That's how the marriage should be. Everybody is looking out for the best interests of the other person, covering up each other's faults. That's what the Bible tells us to do. So it's whenever it comes to the place where these things are happening, they are not true Christians. Really, they are not true
Hmm.
believers, both male and female.
Okay.
They are, because
Okay.
if they
Thank you
are,
so much.
these issues do not even
Thank
arise.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Time is not always my friend on this platform. My 1 hour is already up. I wish we could just continue this gist. See, I'm enjoying it. I always like conversations because there's always truth and there's knowledge that comes from conversation. You think you're gisting, but before you know, you're blessing someone, you're reaching out someone is speaking something, someone is learning something. What we have said here today is going to help a lot of people, and especially for those who are not married. There's 101 things I wish I knew before I got married, and I know that knowledge is what will save you. Get knowledge about relationships before you jump into it. Age is a number. We said this severally on this platform. It's not about, oh, I'm turning 40 so I should marry, and then I see whoever, the very next one available one, you jump in. Most probably you jump in, you're going to jump out very soon, or God forbid you're going to get burnt. So all of the things that we've mentioned here, I might not be able to go through all of them. As much as we are believers and we walk by faith, please let's also know that there's a place of works. Do your part as a man, do your part as a woman. Money is important. Uncle Charles said it, 90% of the time is about money. Statistically proven research said next to adultery, the next reason why most couples divorce is money. So adultery is number one, and money issues is number two. So it's a serious matter. Don't play over it. That time of courtship, try to understand how this person is with money. How are they behaving with money? Do they see it as a tool or as a weapon? You see, I learned something today. You say money can be a tool or it can be a weapon. How is this person using money? Not just with you, even with other people. How is this person using money? What does this person think about money? What is money to this person? That will give you a hint of how he's going to treat you and the money when you people get married. All right, my time is up, and I really, really must thank these two powerhouses for coming today. I can't appreciate it enough. I know the sacrifice Sister Tolu made to be here, and I just must mention it. Sister Tolu has a conference that is coming up next week. I want her to talk about her conference before we go. If you're in Nigeria, you can't miss this conference. Go on, go on.
Yes, so like I said earlier on, I run this for purpose women ministry. We meet every month, but we have a yearly conference called the Undaunted Conference, and the aim of this conference is to encourage women to live in the fullness of life that God has called them to. So what we do is we bring in thriving women to share their journey thriving Christian women, obviously, So this year we are going to be having Pastor Mildred Okonkwo with us. We have the singular honor, and it's our pleasure to have Pastor Mildred Okonkwo with us. And Deborah Paul Eneche will be ministering in songs. It's happening at the Baptizing
Wow.
Church at Central area Abuja. Yes, the Baptizing Church. So if you
Yeah.
put it on Google Maps, it take you right to the venue. So yes,
And it's
that's it.
next
On
Saturday.
4th
What
of
time?
June, Saturday, the 4th of June, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. 9
Okay.
a.m.
So
Yeah.
if you're in Abuja, and I know I have a lot of followers in Abuja, Abuja is my hometown. even if you're outside Abuja, is worth traveling for. I tell you, go connect, go network with fellow sisters. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone, you just need to hear another person's journey to be encouraged. When you know you are not alone in the things you're going through, you are encouraged to be able to, forge ahead. As sisters need to live sisters. So I wish I was in Abuja. I wouldn't have missed that conference. Yeah. So, but I think next year I'll plan to be in the conference next year. It's an annual conference, right? Is it an annual conference, Sister Tolu? Can you hear me? Hello? Is it an annual conference? Okay, I think she can't hear me anymore. I don't know whether it's my network or her network. Thank you so much for coming anyways. Thank you, viewers, for sticking with us. Uncle Charles, can you still hear me? Thank you so much.
I can hear you.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
so much.
inviting me. It
Thank you
was
so much. God
interesting.
bless you.
Thank you so
I know it
much.
wasn't easy for all of us. We were so busy today, but thank God we were still able to connect. And God has used us. I pray He will refill you in Jesus' name. And that
Amen.
beautiful
Amen.
sister, I don't know whether he's searching, but Uncle Charles, if you need his phone number, you can reach out to me. I can share his number. I will even take his permission. I'll just share his number. But you have to be a very, very good sister because Charles is a powerhouse. God bless you. Thank you so much, Sister Tolu, once again for the sacrifice. Thank you, viewers, for staying with us. We'll see you again next week. And God bless you. Have a love-filled week. God bless you. Thank you so much.